Welcome into the NFL Every Game on the Board podcast. I'm Drew Martin. He's Teddy Covers. We're breaking down all the NFL games going on Sunday and Monday on this podcast each and every Friday going forward at Teddy_Covers on Twitter. Teddy, welcome in. How you feeling?
Hey, great to be here, Drew. Excited to talk NFL, my friend. It's a day that we were never sure it was going to happen until last night. And the fact that we had it last night and we've got games scheduled this weekend, it's all good, man, considering what we've been through. It's good to see the NFL back.
Absolutely. Good to have it back. And we're going to hit every game going down here. Starting off in the AFC, we got AFC East, 4-5-3, 4-5-4, Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots. We're seeing the Pats -6.5 in Foxborough, 41.5 being the total here, Teddy.
Yeah, I put a free play up on this game over the summer, and I adjusted it when they got Cam Newton, supporting the Patriots minus the points. You can read the full analysis at both Sports Memo and WagerTalk.com. But the concept here, Miami's no good. All right. And I know that over the back half of the season last year, after that 0-5 start, the Dolphins played much better. And they were good enough to beat New England in the season finale. That, of course, leaves the Patriots in revenge, Belichick with an offseason to prepare, and a Dolphins team that is likely to start 4 new guys out of 5 on the offensive line. I don't anticipate the Dolphins offense clicking. That's putting it mildly. I like the Pats minus the points. And with most of these totals, there's 3 exceptions, but with most of these totals, we've seen the under get pounded. This is one of those where we've seen nothing but under money.
I'm with you, Teddy. Liking the Pats in this one. I also have a free play up at sportsmemo.com under the handicapper page, Drew Martin, on the Patriots over season win total. But check Teddy's free play out on the week 1 game, Dolphins versus the Pats. 1 game down, second game up here, Teddy. 4-5-5, 4-5-6, Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens. We're seeing the Ravens -7 mostly. There is a 7.5 out there in the marketplace. 48 being the total, Teddy.
Yeah, it's been pretty heavy Browns money over the course of the summer, and that's included this week where this line was in the 9.5 range, and now we're seeing 7s as the prevailing number. So Cleveland's been the attractive choice among bettors. Certainly Kevin Stefanski announced today he's going to be the guy who's going to be calling the plays, and people like that. I don't blame him given his track record. That said, when you talk about coaches and staffs that you can be confident on, Harbaugh's the coach I'm confident will have his team ready for week 1. Heck, we saw that last year. My clients and I cashed week 1 last year, and then in a game that was as easy as it gets. On the other side of the equation, we have a QB who struggled against good defenses. We have a new head coach, a new play caller, a new DC, a new system. I'm a little bit reluctant to back teams like that week 1. The markets, however, seem to like Cleveland catching all of those points.
Teddy, we got the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills in the other AFC East matchup with the lowest total on the board, 39.5. We got the Bills -6.5 at home.
Yeah, and we've seen under money in this game as well. Not my money. I wouldn't be surprised if Buffalo makes some big plays in the pass game. That's what they want to do. They want to be a run-first team that takes shots downfield. Josh Allen's never put up high completion percentage numbers, but he has been able to have decent yards per pass attempt numbers because of the shots that he taken, obviously, with the moves they made at wide receiver. Now, a pretty good 1-2-3 combo with Steph Diggs, Josh Brown, and Cole Beasley. They want to throw the football, and there are certainly question marks about that Jets secondary. We haven't seen this game get to 7 and land there. Every time it gets to 7, it comes back to 6.5. So there has been some Jets money. Certainly, there's hope in New York. Sam Darnold, the QB, who I like more than the betting markets do in general. The question is, what do the weapons look like? What do the Jets' defense look like? And you want to talk about a team that had something of a tumultuous training camp. The Jets were one of those squads. Lean Bills here. Haven't pulled the trigger, but that's the only way I could look.
He's Teddy Covers, red hot right now, 14-3, up over 80% the last 2 weeks. Also 10-2 and 27-9, 75% NBA runs. And my favorite here, Teddy, 16-3, 84% NFL week ones the last 5 years. And that is a different handicap, kind of subsector of breaking out the week one because it's first out the gate here. Are you feeling confident in week one overall this season?
Very. I got 3 plays up. I like all 3. I liked all 3 a month ago. I like all 3 just as much, if not more, right now, for what it's worth. Unfortunately, the lines moved on the 5% big ticket. That said, at the current number, I still like it. So, and again, I mean, the track record week 1, it doesn't surprise me that I've been good week 1, but the NFL overall has been pretty darn good. 57% counting every play, every day over a 5-year span in any sport. That'll make you money. That's what my NFL has done over the last 5 years, looking to do it again in 2020.
Yes, 57% NFL every play for the last 5 years, and 16-3, 84% NFL week 1 the last 5 years. Check them out. Teddy covers sportsmemo.com. We got next game up here, Teddy. Las Vegas at Carolina, 47.5 the total, -3. That's our Las Vegas Raiders on the road.
And this is one of the 3 games that I talked about that has not seen under money. In fact, it's seen over money. And you can understand why. All right. It's a Panthers defense that has all kinds of question marks. They lost Luke Kuechly and Mario Addison and Gerald McCoy and Dontari Poe and Bruce Irvin and Andre Smith and Eric Reed and all those guys. And then they basically replaced them all with rookies. The Raiders got 5 offensive line starters returning and some skill position talent around them. You can anticipate Vegas being able to move the football in this ball game. But the Raiders have some questions in their secondary, big time. First-round quarterback Arnett's been struggling to jam receivers. He's dealing with a broken thumb. They cut Prince Akamora. They cut Demarius Randall. It's a young, very young secondary for Vegas. And when we look at the Panthers' weapons, I mean, make no mistake about it. This team, if Teddy Bridgewater can get them the football, they've got some significant skill position talent speedsters that could create big plays. So I'm not surprised at all that this one has seen a fair bit of over money, despite week 1 in general taking nothing but under in money in most of these games.
Teddy, those are some big names you said on the cuts. Anything that behind that on why they're cutting those guys? Just other guys they think are better in those roster spots?
The Carolina had salary cap issues, and they wanted to get a whole lot younger in a whole lot different places, and they did. I mean, so there's a couple teams. We'll talk about the Rams in a minute. Another team that there's a couple teams that lost a lot of big name talent on the defensive side of the football. When it comes to Carolina, I legitimately think that the talent they lost is not close to the talent that they have on hand. So that's a big loss. When it comes to the Rams, who are another team that lost a lot, you'll see a lot of times the big names, the guys who've made Pro Bowls in the past, and then get the big contracts, and then they're on the wrong side of 30, and then maybe the name is still there, but the actual production isn't. Some teams like that, again, the Rams are my prime example of a team that lost a lot of guys, but their defense may be every bit as good or better than it was a year ago. The talent is there behind the replacements for LA.
Okay, makes total sense there, Teddy. We got Sabino in the house, Rob as well. Welcome in, guys. Each and every Friday, we're doing the NFL Every Game on the Board podcast on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Also, Sports Memo podcast going strong for 20 years now. Wherever you're downloading your podcast, check it out, Sports Memo podcast. We got Thursdays, Every Game on the Board college style, and Fridays, Every Game on the Board NFL style. Minty Bets will be helping us out next week as well. And don't forget about NFL opening line report each and every Monday. Teddy and I breaking down the card, NFL, where the lines are going. That is a great show each and every Monday. So come back and join us. We got Seattle at Atlanta up next, Teddy. 49 the total with the Seahawks. -2 in the hook, road favorites in Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, there's been a fair bit of Seattle money. This one was won earlier over the summer. Just like that Raider-Panthers game that was won earlier in the summer. Now we're seeing 3 here. We're seeing up to 2.5. There's a lot of talk in Seattle about starting fast. Remember all the comeback wins the Seahawks had last year. Brian Schottenheimer's like, we want Russell and Wilson to impact the game early. We want to start faster. It's a big question as to what Falcons defense they're going to face. Remember, Atlanta had that awful start to last year. They gave up more than 30 points a game over the first half of the season. Over the back half of the season, they gave up what? It was like 18 points a game, under 19. It was 18 and change, and they started winning games as a result. Do we see Atlanta's defense over the back half, or do we see it over the first half? It's the defense that they've been working on for many, many years. Offensively, there's a lot to like. in Atlanta. They should be able to run the football. They should be able to throw the football. They have an elite level quarterback. The offensive line looks solid on paper, and it is a Seattle defense that, while talented, does have its fair share of question marks, particularly when it comes to the pass rush. And it's also worth noting Dan Quinn has placed his former mentor, Pete Carroll, 4 times. Falcons 4-0 ATS in those ball games.
Oh, nice stat there, Teddy. We got NFC East matchup up next, 463, 464, Philadelphia Eagles, Washington football team, 42.5 being the total, -5.5 or -6. That's Philadelphia laying on the road, Teddy.
Yeah, so, I mean, my gut reaction to this one was really look at the under. Then I ran into a Ron Rivera trend that kind of talked me out of it. But I'll talk about when we look at that Eagles offensive line is a mess. All right. They're not loaded with big play weapons downfield. And Washington's strength, their defensive line is nasty. Again, it's on paper. But on paper, their defensive line is literally as good as any in the NFL. That's a bad matchup for Philadelphia. Look at the other side of the equation. The Redskins with the young quarterback and Haskins, the questionable skill position talent around him. It's a team that I'm not sold on their offensive line. I don't think they're sold on their offensive line. And what's the strength of that Eagles defense? It's the defensive front. It's the pass rush. It's the front four for Philadelphia. So both defensive lines have edges over the opponent's offensive line. This isn't a game that I'm looking to bet over the total, despite the fact that here's your weird stat that stood out to me. Ron Rivera, how about this? When he's a dog of 6 or more in Carolina, he went 18-0 to the over. Riverboat Ron when he's stepping up in class. And that was enough to keep me off the under in this one. That said, it's still the way I lean.
Yeah, and the under is the one taking money here. We've seen it, from 45 down to 42.5. And good point there, Teddy, with the 2 defensive lines, more talented than their offensive lines. Were you wanting to say something real quick?
Yeah, I was just saying, Philly's without 2 offensive line starters, and I don't think Jeffrey or Rieger is going to play at wide receiver. So, the Eagles may have some issues in this ballgame. That's why the money's been trickling in on the Washington football team, even though in just about every other scenario, we've seen the money come against the new coaching staffs without any preseason games.
Okay, good stuff, Teddy. We got Coy, Rob, Dex for teasing the NFL. All you guys welcome in here, guys. Sabino asking about a game, the Chargers. We will talk about the Chargers, and guys, no need to ask about certain games. We're hitting them all on this show, on this podcast, each and every Friday. NFL, every game on the board, going right down the row here, hitting all the games for the weekend. 465, 466 up next, Teddy. We got Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. We got the Lions -2 in the hook, -3 as well. 42 the total. Important one to shop around, guys.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears had a really bad August. The defense is dealing with injuries. There are a couple of key starters that may not play in this one. Trubisky didn't beat out Foles. Foles just didn't beat him out. And the coach, if you read any reports out of Bears practices, it was like you get the same thing over and over again. Bears offense struggles again today. Bears red zone offense not working. I've got my concerns about Chicago right now. And of course, the Lions fit into, again, you look at the long-term trends. Lions went 0-6 in division last year. Teams that go 0-6 in division do very well ATS the following year. Better than 60% long-term in division games the next season. And I talked about this one over the summer a little bit. When we look at the Lions schedule, boy, if they don't win this game, they're up against it. It is it's all must win. But this is a huge game for the home favorite. And the markets are showing that. There's a little bit of love. There's a lot of love for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions as a sleeper pick. I've heard more people tell me the Lions are the sleeper to win the NFC North than any other team, any other random team. And of course, when Stafford got hurt last year, they were number 8 in the NFL in points per game, number 4 in yards per game. Stafford was on pace for a 38-10 touchdown to interception season. Okay, I'll buy that. I still haven't seen Matthew Stafford take this team and put it on his back and make him good. I still have a question about the Lions' offensive line, and I have no question. I'm not shocked at all to see the under money come in this one. 2 offenses that are a little bit suspect. I understand Detroit. I'm not going to ask the Lions to win any games by more than a field goal, not right out of the gate. In my mind, that the spread is exactly where it should be.
Teddy, next game up, we got 4-6-7, 4-6-8. Indianapolis Colts at the Jacksonville Jaguars. 45 the total in Jacksonville. -8 now. Looks to be Indianapolis on the road.
Yeah, there's definitely a thought process in the betting markets right now that the Jags are looking a lot like Miami did last year to open the season. If you remember last August, Miami basically started jettisoning veterans, getting anything they could for anybody that they would have to pay. And the end result was they lost their first 5 games of the season, and they got blown out in all of them. And on paper, they were the worst team in NFL history through 5 games. I'm not saying the Jags are the same team. I'm saying the markets are looking at the Jags right now like they have that potential to just completely mail it in from the get-go. That said, I mean, Indy on paper is a great team. Sure, we love them. You know, they upgraded everywhere. They made must-win. They made win-now moves on both sides of the football. They mortgaged in draft choices to get guys this year. There's a lot to like about the Indianapolis Colts, but there's a pretty big question for Indy. You know, last year, Phillip Rivers is at a QB rating of 80, a pass rating of 88.5, the lowest in the last 12 years. Yards per pass attempt adjusted 7.1. That's his lowest in the last 7 years. The guy's 39 years old, and he hasn't played this offense before. That's not an easy thing for me to lay it more than a touchdown on the road with a team like Indy, even though on paper the Colts probably deserve this level of respect. I also like Minshew's character. I got to say, you know, the quotes coming out of Jacksonville are not "we've quit" quotes, but the markets certainly looking in that direction.
Teddy, if you had to bet a side, which side would you bet in that?
I'd take the points before I lay them.
Yeah, I'm the same way. We got Green Bay at Minnesota up next. Vikings -2 in the hook at home. 44.5 the total in this one, Teddy.
Yeah, this is a hard game for me. I do not have a strong opinion side. Maybe total-wise, I do. When we look at what Zimmer's defense has done against Aaron Rodgers, it's been good. You know, last year, Rodgers didn't get the 220 yards in either of the games. You know, 2 touchdown passes, 5.7 yards per attempt. Nothing pretty. On the other end of the equation, it was pretty comparable numbers for Kirk Cousins against Green Bay. But I think it was even lower than that. I'm not finding my numbers right in front of me, unfortunately. It was 48% completions and 5.6 yards per attempt and 2 touchdowns in the 2 games, along with 3 INTs. I expect both teams to try to run the football. I expect both teams to try to be run first this year. You know, the Vikings have trended under at home anyway. Division games, how about this? 17-3 to the under the last 20. Certainly worth noting Kirk Cousins, 7-27 straight up against teams that finished the year with a winning record. And the Vikings are laying in this ballgame.
Good stuff, Teddy. Love the stats here, guys. Check them out, sportsmemo.com. I mean, the stats speak for themselves, guys. Teddy covers red hot right now, 14-3, all sports last 2 weeks. NFL every play the last 5 years, 57% in the NFL last 5 years. That's all the plays. And my favorite stat, 16-3, 84% NFL week 1 the last 5 years. So he's been hot out the gate. Check him out, sportsmemo.com. His plays up there. His free plays up there as well. So check out his handicapper page, sportsmemo.com. Teddy, we got some guys asking in the chat box here about the LA Chargers Cincinnati Bengals game. So we're going to get it here. 41.5, 42 being the total in Cincinnati, -3 LA Chargers on the road.
So let's see. We have a rookie quarterback making his first start without a preseason.
Andy's laying points.
No. The rookie.
Oh, no. Excuse me.
He's catching points.
Yeah.
But we have a rookie quarterback in his NFL debut without a preseason. That's not a bet on situation. Okay? It's just flat out not. Mm-hmm. I cannot take Cincinnati in this ballgame. However, look at the Chargers. They've already got cluster injuries on the offensive line. Valaga's a question mark this week. Pouncey's been downgraded to out. Trey Turner is banged up. Don't know if Mike Williams is going to go at receiver. And what does Tyrod Taylor do? Tyrod Taylor doesn't make mistakes. How does he avoid mistakes? How does he avoid turnovers? Every throw's a check down. So you got a rookie on one side. You got a QB who's going to check down on the other side. And you have a total sitting at 42. I don't know if that 42 is going to last. I expect under money, and I don't argue with that under money. for this game to go over, it's going to take a handful of big plays that I'm not sure that we're going to see.
Okay, looking towards the under. Chargers versus the Bengals. We got Arizona at San Francisco up next, Teddy. Seeing the 49ers -7 at home, 48 the total in this one.
And the 49ers have some real injury concerns at the wide receiver position. I don't know if Brandon Ike's going to play. Deebo Samuel's not likely to suit up. And for a team that had question marks at depth at that position going into camp, that's a problem. It really is. And the offensive line for San Fran has some concerns. Weston Richburg, the center, on reserve. His backup barely practiced. There's some concerns for me about San Fran offensively coming into the season. I don't have those same concerns for Arizona. And I know that Arizona, you say who won the offseason, the Cardinals certainly were one of the big winners. DeAndre Hopkins is a difference maker. And now you have a Kyler Murray who may be ready to make that next leap. Arizona gave San Fran trouble in both meetings last year. I wouldn't be surprised they give them trouble in this meeting as well. All the money's come for the Cardinals. If you like Arizona, grab a 7 now. I'm not convinced they'll be there by kickoff on Sunday.
Teddy, quick question here for you, because I was going to ask you after the Philadelphia-Washington one about the Washington quarterback, but we got kind of same profile here with the Arizona. In college football, after first year off season, after the quarterback started for the first season, so his second season, always look for a huge kind of uptrend in his production. Do you look that same way in the NFL?
I do, but not this year because nobody had a normal offseason. Okay. And it is slightly different. I mean, for why Haskins didn't play all last year, Haskins got a couple of starts at the end, whereas Kyler Murray basically had a season, and then I was getting a second season. So if you ask me which of the two QBs is more likely to take a second-year leap, I mean, it's not close. My money's on Murray to do that. And he's got better weapons around him, and I think he has a better offensive line to protect him as well. So, you put all those factors together. I think, that I would expect a jump from Kyler Murray. I'd be surprised if I saw a jump from Dwayne Haskins. And also Murray playing in the same offense. Haskins learning a new offense. I don't think it's close in terms of where the two QBs are, at least right now, for projecting forward for 2020.
Yeah, great stuff, Teddy. Glad I asked you. We got Tampa Bay at New Orleans up next. We got 47.5 being the total. Looks like the Saints laying 3 in the hook in the Big Easy.
Yeah, I mean, New Orleans it's all win now for the Saints. I mean, it really looks like the last go round now with Peyton and Breeze and everybody. It's not like the team will fall apart if Breeze retires. Heck, who knows? They might be better if Jameis comes in. They might be. Breeze wasn't that good last year.
Yeah, but at least he threw it to the right team more than Jameson.
Yes, much more. But that has everything to do with the not to say the play calling, but the routes that were run, perhaps, might be the more appropriate title. Okay. Obviously, it's been an off season of major changes in Tampa Bay when you bring in the new QB in Brady. And every report, look, you read the reports out of Buck Camp, and day after day, Brady was accurate. Everyone feels good. I mean, it's nothing but positive comments. These two teams might both be really good. The Saints have a bad track record in Sean Payton, under Sean Payton in weeks 1 and 2. I've got them 2-14 ATS over the last 8 years over the first 2 weeks of the season. That has not been good. Arians tends to have his team ready out of the gate, but obviously it's a Tampa team that had a lot of offseason changes, and don't know if Mike Evans is going to play, which would be arguably one of Brady's favorite targets. And we really don't know if that the Bucs defense was really good last year. An underrated unit. On paper was a top 5 defense. Right there with the Steelers and the Ravens and the Patriots and the 49ers. Every key piece for that defense is back for Tampa. If it lives up to expectations, the Bucs are going to make some bettors money this year.
You think we see 3s or even 2.5s before kick?
I wouldn't be shocked to see 3s. We're not seeing 2.5s. No.
Okay.
Yeah, but so if you like Tampa, I would grab the 3.5 now. I don't think it goes up.
Teddy covers red hot right now, 14-3, 82% all sports last 2 weeks. Guys, we got 3 games left, but check out his NFL full season up at sportsmemo.com. 16-3, 84% NFL week 1 the last 5 years. So hot out the gate. You can get his NFL college football full season, sportsmemo.com. And before Monday night, using the coupon code football200. If you just spell it out, football 200 takes $200 off his college football NFL combo full season package. You also get his NFL season win total package included in that. It goes all the way through the Super Bowl, national championship game. Coupon code football 200 at checkout for Teddy Covers NFL college football combo full season package. Sportsmemo.com. The Sunday nighter here, Teddy, we got Dallas at the LA Rams, 51.5 being the total, -3. That's the Dallas Cowboys laying on the road.
Yeah, and this one, it was open this 3.5, bet down as low as 2.5 over the summer, and now we're seeing the 3s back for Dallas. And I mean, it's September, and that means Dallas is getting hype. Hope springs eternal for Jerry Jones and company. And everyone's looking at this Cowboys offense saying, "Oh my God, it can't be stopped. The best offense is the '99 Rams and all of that." It's like, all right, I'm not giving CeeDee Lamb the Rookie of the Year award yet. I haven't seen Dak Prescott be the multiple Pro Bowl starter, et cetera, et cetera. And they got some concerns on the offensive line, some major concerns. La'el Collins out for Dallas, and that he matters when your stud right tackle is missing. And of course, Dallas does have concerns on the defense side of the football. The Rams are one of those teams I talked about earlier, where yes, they lost some big names in the offseason on the defensive side of the football. But it wasn't a great defense last year, and it might be a decent defense this year. I wouldn't be surprised if that defense improves from where it was a year ago. The big question here, obviously, the opener of SoFi Stadium, what are we going to see from Jared Goff? Goff has been not at his best against the better defenses, and for what it's worth, Everson Griffin, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Aldon Smith, who's had a really nice camp, could give Goff some pressure, which may ruin his night. That said, my power ratings do not support Dallas as a 3-point road favorite as they open up SoFi Stadium. I think this number is a little bit high, and the markets have, obviously, too, betting it down off the opener.
All right, guys, come back and join us on Monday, NFL opening line report. We will hit the Monday nighters here real quick. Pittsburgh at the New York Giants. First one up on Monday night. We got Pittsburgh, the Steelers, -6 on the road, 46 the total, Teddy.
We talked about Sean Payton not having them ready. Mike Tomlin doesn't have them ready either. Steelers out of training camp, week 1. Last 9 week 1 games, Steelers have a grand total of 1 point spread cover. That said, of all the teams in the NFL, I'll be totally honest, Pittsburgh to me is the one that I wouldn't be surprised they go 11-5. I would be surprised they go 5-11. I would be surprised it's Tomlin's last year and Roethlisberger's last year, and it all turns to shit. And I wouldn't be surprised if this team is really good right from the get-go.
Volatility for sure.
Pittsburgh's a team I want to watch play. I want to see what Big Ben looks like. And I know we didn't have preseason. I know we have camp reports and all of that, and I've read all the camp reports, and I still want to see Big Ben play. As for the Giants, Coach Judge kicked everyone out of practice and said, all right, we got to restart practice again yesterday. And you know what? The quotes after that were all buy-in quotes. Saquon Barkley, who's a leader on that team now, saying, hey, we came out a little lethargic and coach put us in our place, and that was a good thing. But on paper, the Giants have weaknesses everywhere. They do not look like a very good team, particularly on the defensive side of the football. And with a new coaching staff, they're a hard team to trust. It's been nothing but Pittsburgh money from the opener.
Teddy, we got 1 game left. The nightcap on the Monday nighter. Gosh, I wish the NFL would do 2 Monday nighters each and every week, but at least we get it week 1, 10:20 Eastern expected kickoff here. We got Tennessee at Denver. Looks like the Titans -2 or -2 in the hook on the road, Mile High, 41 being the total here, Teddy.
Yeah, and the money has poured in on the Titans over the course of the week. Last week at this time, Denver was laying a couple of points, and now it's been Tennessee. All that said, it's been injuries. You want to talk about a team that had a bad week of camp. The Broncos had a really bad week of camp. Basically, since Tuesday, They lost Von Miller long-term. Cortland Sutton doesn't look like he's going to be ready. KJ Hamler is still dealing with his hamstring injury. Bradley Chubb, there's significant injury concerns for this Broncos team. That's why the money's coming on Tennessee. That said, both of these squads have bet on potential for me. They really do. I think that even with the loss of Von Miller, I would not be surprised if this Broncos defense is really good. They need to get healthy or fairly healthy. But the one thing Vic Fangio has done literally everywhere he's ever been is craft a good defense within 2 years. This defense was good last year. They might be very good this year. But for Denver, obviously, you have the concerns about Drew Lock, who showed some signs last year and showed some signs in camp this season. But certainly it's a Titans pass rush that's pretty nasty. And a Titans team that, frankly, was an undervalued commodity for most of the season last year. Once Mariota got benched and they put in Tannehill, they were major moneymakers and they were undervalued by the betting market. Based on this line move, I don't know if they're going to be undervalued commodity coming in to 2020. This should be a fun nightcap on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, Teddy. There we go. Full card in the books. He's Teddy Covers on Twitter at Teddy_covers. Guys, check him out, sportsmemo.com. You get a season win total report. You get a great track record here, guys, especially both long term and short term, not especially one or the other. Red hot, 14-3 last 2 weeks in all sports, 10-2 and 27-9 NBA runs right now. Check them out. NBA, NFL, college football, all of that going well. We got 16-3, 84% NFL week one the last 5 years. We got week one this weekend. So check them out, sportsmemo.com. And remember the coupon code football200, NFL college football full season combo package for $200 off. Teddy Covers, sportsmemo.com. That coupon code is football200 at checkout. Teddy, anything else you want to throw out before we shut this down?
I want to say thanks. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to hang out with Drew and I. Again, we'll be back here on Monday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m., I should say, on the East Coast. We'll do the opening line report like we do every week throughout the football season. Enjoy the games. Good luck. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Best of luck with your bets, guys. Have a fun weekend.